Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. An NXT star has responded to Adam Pearce's social media post about a potential opponent for Penta. Joe Coffey revealed who he wants to see the WWE Raw star face off against. The former AEW wrestler competed in his second WWE match on the latest episode of Raw. He defeated Chad Gable last week and Pete Dunne this Monday. He's been presented as a star since he arrived in the company. WWE shared a photo of Penta on X and asked the fans who the latter should face next. Adam Pearce quoted it and requested to know who it should be. Joe Coffey reacted to the tweet by telling Pearce that he should give Gallus a go. You can check out the tweet below. The Yeet Master is one of the most popular stars in the industry right now, as he's a huge fan favorite. There's a long list of people that fans would love to see him face. On Unscripted, Bill Apter said that a match between Jey Uso and Penta would be interesting. Even though both stars are babyfaces, Jey Uso is currently set to challenge Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship. It'll be interesting to see when he and Penta cross paths in WWE and how a match between them turns out. It had been a long, grueling day at WWE headquarters. Adam Pearce, the WWE official and veteran, had spent hours coordinating matches, solving backstage issues, and fielding requests from superstars. As the director of operations, his role was demanding. But there was one request he had been dreading to send. Knowing how the 36-year-old WWE star would likely respond, this particular WWE star, who had been with the company for over a decade, was not just any talent. He was an icon in his own right, a man whose athletic prowess had brought countless championships, countless memorable moments, and legions of fans. But despite his immense talent and popularity, this 36-year-old star was known for his reluctance to do business on anyone's terms but his own. His success in the ring, however, was indisputable. He was a true legend in the making. The request had been simple. Adam Pearce had asked for this star to appear on an upcoming episode of WWE SmackDown. The show was looking for a major draw, something to elevate the ratings and make headlines. The star's appearance would help achieve that. However, the WWE veteran had recently been known for his somewhat distant attitude toward management and his growing desire to operate on his own terms. Knowing the star's unpredictable nature, Adam Pearce could only hope the request wouldn't be met with the usual defiance. It was a routine request, but when it came to this particular wrestler, routine could be anything but predictable. Pearce pressed send on the email and hoped for the best. Hours later, Adam Pearce sat at his desk, reviewing the rest of his duties for the week. His inbox chimed with a new email notification. It was from the 36-year-old star. Pearce took a deep breath, bracing for whatever response he might receive. He clicked open the message. The subject line was short, request. The body of the email contained only 5 words. Not interested, find someone else. Pearce blinked at the screen, feeling a mix of frustration and admiration. The response was exactly what he expected from the star, yet it still felt like a punch in the gut. This was the man who had made WWE history, who had once been adored by the company. But now, it seemed like his attitude had shifted, and he wasn't the same superstar everyone once celebrated. Pearce sat back in his chair, contemplating what to do next. Should he push harder? Should he reach out personally? He knew better than to waste time on further persuading the 36-year-old WWE star. He had always been a man of his own decisions, driven by his own sense of what was right. When he said no, it meant no, and so, the wheels of WWE's ever-moving machine continued to turn, without the star's presence. The following day, backstage at the SmackDown taping, the mood was tense. Staff members rushed around making last-minute preparations, checking props, setting up the arena, and making sure everything was in order. Adam Pearce, still reeling from the previous day's terse email, paced backstage, trying to figure out the best course of action. He had expected some form of resistance from the 36-year-old star. It wasn't unusual for talent to turn down certain requests, especially when the storyline didn't fit into their own narrative. The star had always marched to the beat of his own drum. But Pearce wasn't about to let a superstar's ego ruin the product. He needed to find a way to salvage this. After all, SmackDown needed a massive rating boost, and that could only happen with a big-name appearance. He walked past a few staff members, his mind racing. He'd spoken to many superstars before, but few had the gravitas of this particular talent. His influence, both in the ring and out, was undeniable. Yet it wasn't just his charisma that made him stand out, it was his mystique, his ability to control the narrative around him. He wasn't the kind of guy who would do what was asked just because it was the company's request. This was a man who had earned the right to make demands of his own, just as Pearce was about to give in to the thought of finding another way to get the crowd excited for the evening. His phone buzzed. He looked down to see a text message from the star's longtime manager. "Hey Adam, quick word about the request. He's not in the mood for extra appearances right now, but I think I can get him to work something out if you just give him a little time." Pearce sighed, then quickly typed a response. "Thanks for letting me know, I'll figure it out." The manager had done his part, but Pearce knew that the decision ultimately rested with the 36-year-old star. The man had a way of keeping everyone on edge, but at the end of the day, his work spoke for itself. Whether or not he graced the ring on this night or the next was anyone's guess. Pearce just hoped that this wasn't the end of the star's career at WWE. Despite the firm message he'd received in the form of 5 short words, the atmosphere at SmackDown was electrifying as usual. Fans filled the arena, chanting, cheering, and clapping. The buzz in the air signaled a massive show ahead, even without the star in the cards for the evening's segment. But backstage, the tension was palpable a few hours into the taping. Just as the show was nearing its peak moment, an anticipated championship match between two rising stars, Adam Pearce received a phone call. It was from the 36-year-old's manager again. "Adam, he'll do it. He wants to be part of a different angle though, not the one you were thinking about. Can you work with that?" Pearce's heart skipped a beat. After the defiant response, he hadn't expected the call. But now, there was hope. "What angle does he want?" Pearce asked, trying to suppress his excitement. "He wants a match that showcases his strength and technique, not just a spot for a ratings boost. If you can get the creative team on board with that, you'll have him, but don't push it, he's not here to be anyone's pawn." Pearce rubbed his temples. This was typical of the 36-year-old star. He would do business, on his own terms. But that was the price of having a major talent like him on the roster. Pearce understood that better than anyone. "Understood, I'll get it worked out," Pearce said with resolve. Back in the ring, the excitement of SmackDown carried on. Matches were unfolding as scheduled, but Pearce was a man on a mission. He moved quickly backstage, meeting with the creative team to discuss the change. There were grumbles, a few raised eyebrows, but in the end they had no choice but to comply with the star's conditions. It was a win-win after all. Getting him involved would elevate the product, even if it wasn't the storyline originally envisioned. By the time the show was wrapping up, the change had been finalized. The 36-year-old WWE star would be part of the main event, but it would be on his terms. Pearce couldn't help but feel a bit relieved. The match would be something fresh, and though it wasn't the usual formula, he trusted that the star's drawing power would make it a hit. The following week, the star arrived at the arena, his presence commanding attention. His reputation preceded him, and he was nothing short of electric when he entered the ring. Fans erupted into cheers as his theme song played, signaling the return of a true icon. Adam Pearce watched from the backstage area, a smile tugging at his lips. He had succeeded in the end, but it hadn't been easy. His decision to respect the 36-year-old's terms had ultimately paid off, as the star stood in the ring, eyes focused, ready to take on his opponent in a match that would make history. Pearce's thoughts lingered on the email that had started it all. Those 5 simple words had thrown him off guard, but in the end, they had led to something even bigger. In the unpredictable world of WWE, the 36-year-old star had once again proven that when he spoke, people listened. It wasn't about bending to anyone's will. It was about creating the perfect storm on his own terms. And that, Adam Pearce knew, was why this particular WWE star was a legend in the making. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe our WWE official YouTube channel for more update news.